An in-depth profile by The Atlantic's Tim Alberta on CNN. It's led to a lot of consternation and backlash, and that is where we begin today. The profile was on CNN chief Chris Licht. It was supposed to confirm his brilliance and journalistic integrity. This is the way back for CNN, which is at the bottom of the barrel in the ratings these days. Instead, this piece may be the death knell for Licht's career. In the piece, Licht comes across as self-aggrandizing and insecure, uttering phrases to a reporter like, "I'm a machine," while pumping iron in the gym. My God. Can you imagine? What kind of a man does that? A man oddly focused on the guy who held his job before him, Jeff Zucker, while lifting a weighted pole at said gym, where he is said to be obsessed with his trainer, from whom he takes advice on how to run CNN. By the way, the trainer is some far-left guy who prefers MSNBC. Licht is said to have exclaimed, "Jeff Zucker couldn't do this." What? The piece includes much criticism by Licht of the CNN he inherited, and I actually happen to share those criticisms. How it hyped the CNN COVID virus and the death toll to the point where it became absurd. How CNN joined the resistance during the Trump years. How it became a player on the field during Trump's presidency, costing the network its credibility and trust as a neutral journalistic outfit. Now, the CNN staffers are reportedly in full revolt. Their little feelings, already tender from the CNN town hall where Trump was platformed and spewed lies, are now extra hurt by the criticism they are receiving via The Atlantic from their boss. Brian Stelter, who Licht justifiably fired as one of the most biased, worst offenders of these sins, writes now that the COVID hype allegation really stung some inside CNN who maintain they did no such thing. They did not hype it. Well, I watched the whole thing unfold. And if CNN was not hyping the COVID death toll, etc., for ratings, then it must have actually been that hysterical. Either way, it is an embarrassment and a journalistic fail for them. To call that a black eye would be the understatement of the year. I'm with Licht all the way on those criticisms and his observations. Obviously, he is right about their failures on Trump, too. That is why he was hired by the new owners, to try to right that ship. In fact, I found myself agreeing with much of what Licht found faulty in the CNN he was inheriting after Jeff Zucker's ouster. It is clear that Licht fancies himself as a mini Roger Ailes wannabe. But as I said on Friday, there's only one Roger Ailes, and Chris Licht ain't it. Roger's genius came to him authentically and organically as he grew up digging ditches in Youngstown, Ohio. Licht, the piece points out, was raised in Connecticut. That's where I am. I'm not judging it, but I'm just saying, please. The son of a doctor and a physician's assistant. His career before CNN had him executive producing The Morning Show at CBS, not exactly known for its fair and balanced approach to news, and then Stephen Colbert, his late-night propaganda machine for the left. This is not exactly man of middle America stuff. He has clearly read about Ailes and his approach to the news, and in trying to satisfy his bosses at Time Warner Discovery, who want CNN to return to its nonpartisan roots, is trying to act the part. But you cannot imitate your way to greatness. For one thing, Ailes knew talent. How to find them, how to manage them, how to make them household names, and then how to manage their egos once they became those household names. Better than anyone in the news business. Licht? His biggest accomplishments so far seem to be casting Don Lemon in that disastrous morning show on CNN, which has already basically imploded, and gotten Lemon fired, and elevating Caitlin Collins as his next big star. Collins seems like a fine reporter with potential, but she doesn't have anything close to the it factor that has thrust many others into cable news stardom. Chris Licht would have been better off leaving her in the White House reporting gig, letting her cement her reporting chops instead of tying her to the morning anchor desk with Lemon and Poppy Harlow, where she exudes approximately zero warmth. Next up, he gave Collins the high wire act of trying to manage Donald Trump in a CNN town hall. That, too, was an utter fail, as anyone who's watched Trump for 2 minutes prior to that town hall could have and did predict. Now, he has tarnished his only rising star at the network, just as he gave her the 9 o'clock slot on CNN's primetime. Well done, sir. In reading the Atlantic piece, And now the follow-up reporting by the New York Times over the past few days, the Daily Beast, Brian Stelter's writing, and then today, CNN's own Oliver Darcy in his Reliable Sources newsletter. He took that over from Stelter. What is clear is that the CNN staff cannot stand Chris Licht. As he brags in the piece about his new svelte body allegedly being a machine, he fails to disclose that he apparently did it with Ozempic, according to the New York Post, which quotes several people to whom Licht has apparently been admitting for years now that he's been using the drug. As he takes CNN staffers and anchors out to dinner to get to know them, he obsessively checks his phone, reading press coverage about himself. This is a guy who seems more focused on promoting himself in the press than any of the stories or the staff on CNN. He wants to inspire greatness in his employees and young journalists, but keeps repeating the same tired, uninsightful lines, per Tim Alberta. Like, we can disagree on whether we like rain or not, but not on whether it's actually raining outside. Okay. Go! Let's go, team! The news is so much more complex than that these days, as evidenced in his CNN Trump town hall, right? Where his star reporter taking on Trump stated as a matter of fact, it is raining outside, that the 2020 election wasn't rigged. Really? Tell it to the New York Post and its audience who did not get to read the Hunter Biden story after it was suppressed by Twitter and big tech, etc. We could go on the rigged point and have no need to belabor it again. Licht is now moving his office from the 22nd floor to the newsroom like Jeff Zucker did. But that is no answer. The children don't need moment-to-moment access to daddy. The chumminess of Zucker with his CNN staff was actually a problem, not an accomplishment. He wanted to be liked. He didn't want to lead. Sometimes being the boss means you have to ruffle some feathers. You have to treat the staff like underlings. You have to fire people, right? Like Jeffrey Toobin, like Don Lemon, like Chris Cuomo, all these things that Zucker was so reluctant to do. And later we found out why. He had his own problems in the Me Too department. But it is evidence of the fact that Licht does not know how to appease his minions. He's flailing. And the minions are apparently done with the machine. Did you know that there is one phase of sleep that almost everyone fails to get enough of? And this one phase of sleep is responsible for most of your body's daily rejuvenation, repair, controlling hunger, and weight loss hormones, not to mention boosting energy. I am talking about deep sleep. Why don't most people get enough of this one most important phase of sleep? A big reason is magnesium deficiency. It's real. And over 80% of the population is deficient in magnesium. Now, before you go out and buy some rando magnesium supplement, it is important to understand that most products out there only have 1 to 2 forms of magnesium, when the reality is your body needs all 7 forms of this essential sleep mineral. That is where Magnesium Breakthrough comes in. Magnesium Breakthrough contains all 7 forms of magnesium designed to help calm your mind, help you fall asleep, stay asleep, that's tough, and wake up feeling refreshed. Visit magbreakthrough.com/Megyn Kelly to order now. magbreakthrough.com/Megyn Kelly. In addition to the discount that you'll get by using the promo code Megyn10, there are always amazing gifts with purchase. You're going to love shopping at Bioptimizers. Go now to magbreakthrough.com/Megyn Kelly to get your magnesium breakthrough and find out this month's gift with purchase. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.